Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you are currently flying one of the smaller starter ships and have been looking for your first upgrade, chances are someone has told you to go with the Cutlass Black. But why is that? Let's take a look together. Before we do get started, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that have subscribed recently. I've been overwhelmed by the response and I appreciate each and every one of you. I've set myself a personal goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025 and only you guys can help make that happen. If you do find yourself enjoying the video or find yourself coming back to the channel often, then consider hitting that sub button. It costs you nothing and helps me out so much. As always, it's worth pointing out that my reviews are from the perspective of someone owning the ship and what you can expect from using it day to day. The things I love and don't love about the ship. I don't dive too much into the stat details because there are other channels out there that do a much better job than I ever could, so check them out as well. With that out of the way, let's get into it. The Drake Cutlass Black is classified as a medium freight ship, but honestly it's so much more than that. It really brings a lot of elements to the table that make it a very strong choice, either solo or multi-crew. In keeping with their other ships, the Cutlass Black maintains Drake's no frills and inexpensive, get the job done approach when shipbuilding, and this really is the prime example of that. Bare exposed grates and ports all over the place, no fancy lighting or over-the-top design can be seen anywhere. I'll be totally upfront that when I first started playing, I was much more focused on the clean aesthetic ships than I was over how it functioned, and because of that I originally swerved the Cutlass due to how it looked. After spending a couple of weeks with it as a daily driver, man do I regret that decision. Let's take a look at some of the things I loved about the Cutlass. While the interior aesthetic is not my personal taste, you can't deny that if you want to play as a pirate or smuggler in the game, then this bird fits the bill perfectly. The way the ship looks like it's just been thrown together just to make something fly really suits this purpose. The profile of the ship is unique as well, almost praying mantis-like, and seeing this ship floating around when doing box runs or hauling always puts me on high alert. Speaking of hauling, a feature I absolutely love is the 2 sliding doors on the Cutlass. Having the ability to load a ship without ever having to leave the relative safety of the hull is a massive win in my book. Having 46 SCU of cargo space for a ship this versatile is huge and opens the door to making big money in the verse. The cargo grid can easily hold boxes up to 16 SCU in size as well. Not only is this great for hauling, I can see this being used for hot dropping troops or small vehicles like the Pulse in a ground assault scenario and getting people into the thick of the action really quickly. While on the topic of interior space, another great feature to mention is the co-pilot controlled tractor beam that enables you to carry those bigger boxes or have your co-pilot pull weapons and components from defeated enemy ships without ever having to leave the comfort of their seat. This helps make the multi-crew gameplay a joy in the Cutlass for sure. Throw the top-mounted turret into the mix and the possibilities in the verse for making money really open up. Speaking of weaponry, I don't go into stats too much, but it's worth pointing out, this ship hits hard when you consider all the other things the ship can do as well. The pilot has control of 2 size 3 repeaters and 2 size 3 Gatling guns, dishing out 1,536 DPS in the current patch, with the turret adding an additional 522 DPS on top of that. Seeing sparks flying off an enemy as the Gatling gun tears into the hull will never get old in combat situations. The combat performance doesn't end there, the ship feels maneuverable and I never seem to struggle to get on target against AI enemies. And every time I did get on target, I made them pay dearly for it. Against a skilled pilot-controlled dedicated fighter, the Cutlass may struggle, but you've got to remember this is not a dedicated combat ship, it just so happens to be very good at it in the right hands. The Cutlass has plenty of quantum fuel to keep you zipping around and completing missions, and I never felt any worry about not being able to reach a destination or thinking about having to go and refuel between each mission, which is always nice to have. Even when jumping between planets, being able to stay on task and in the action is a big win in my eyes. Now let's take a look at some of the things that bugged me. For all the strengths the Cutlass has when it comes to cargo, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. When loading and snapping to the cargo grid, there is no visual indication for where that grid actually is, and it took me a while to actually figure out what I could snap where. You'll see here that I've marked out the grid areas with a few ship weapons I yanked off some enemies. It seems oddly placed, and without a visual guide as to where this stuff can go, anyone new to the ship is just waving around their tractor beam until they see a hologram. The frustrations with cargo didn't end there either, sadly. Remember those side doors I love so much? They are really convenient for smaller boxes, but despite the cargo hold being able to take 16 SCU sized boxes, the side opening is just a little too small to be able to easily maneuver them in. Enjoy some footage of me repeatedly trying to ram a box in there. I'm pretty sure it can be done, I'm just not skilled enough with the tractor beam apparently. This leads me onto the tractor beam placement itself, which is awkward for both loading and unloading. Again, bigger boxes are a struggle due to the rotation needed to pull them up the ramp. I tried this for far longer than I care to admit. It also doesn't really allow you to load through the side doors either, though I suppose you could just chuck the boxes out the side during unloading, but it's not ideal. In my opinion, if they moved the tractor beam into the center of the cargo hold, it would make it much more effective and easier to use. A couple of nitpicky things now, one of them being the cockpit. I don't mind the basic design, but oh my god, it's bright. Against a dark backdrop while in space, the brightness of the cockpit is just obnoxious at times. Another one is the beds. I'm not sure if it is possible, and I definitely didn't manage it, but bed logging does seem to be non-existent in this ship right now. I don't know, maybe you can tell me otherwise. A final one, and this isn't really a problem in the current game, but where is the toilet? Are we expected to drop our trousers and poop out the side doors? I get the no frills design, but surely a place to poop is a necessity. So, the verdict. All in all, is it worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. If you are wanting to get the most you can out of the verse, then the Cutlass Black definitely enables that. If you want to try the Cutlass out before investing as well, you can actually rent the ship for a day for just under 54,000 credits from refinery stations too, which is a massive bonus. It's definitely not the prettiest ship out there internally, but it can do a hell of a lot. But now I'm interested to know what you guys think about the Cutlass Black. Love it, hate it? Have you actually got one? Is it your daily driver? Let me know down in the comments and let's get a conversation going. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.